Imagine you're trapped in a town where monsters come out every night. Talismans are the only thing keeping you alive, and everyone believes those little carved rocks are the one rule protecting them. And then suddenly, one character walks in and proves those rules never mattered. Yeah, that's exactly what just happened in From Season 4, Episode 1, because the man in yellow didn't just show up again. He infiltrated the town itself. And if what we saw in this episode is true, the entire survival system of Fromville just collapsed overnight. Hey, Fromily, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because Season 4 just started, and trust me, the lore in this show just went absolutely insane. Today we're breaking down the expanded role and powers of the man in yellow, what his terrifying shape-shifting ability actually means, and why this one twist might prove something fans have suspected for years. The monsters were never the real enemy. The man in yellow is. And after this episode, he might already be living inside the town.
We have to stop meeting like this.
The man in yellow just changed the entire game. So Season 4 premiered on MGM Plus on April 19th, and the episode literally picks up seconds after the Season 3 finale. Jim Matthews is dead, not attacked by the night creatures, not killed by the smiling monsters we've been terrified of since Season 1. No, he's killed by the man in yellow himself, and the way he does it is brutal. He just walks up, grabs Jim, and rips his throat out like it's nothing, no hesitation, no drama, just pure control. And while Jim is dying, the man in yellow says something chilling. Your wife shouldn't have dug that hole, Jim. Let that sink in. He knows what Tabitha did. He knows the secrets of the town. He knows everything. But here's where things get even crazier, because right after killing Jim, he turns to Julie, except Julie isn't technically supposed to be there. She's story walking, which means she's moving through different timelines or loops of the town. And instead of being confused, the man in yellow just smiles and says, "We really have to stop meeting like this." That line tells us something huge. He already knows about the loops, which means this isn't his first time experiencing them. And maybe, just maybe, he's the reason they exist. So who actually is the man in yellow? Let's rewind for a second, because the man in yellow didn't suddenly appear in Season 3. He's been lurking in the background of this story for a long time. Remember that creepy radio transmission at the end of Season 1? The voice that seemed to know exactly what was happening inside the town. Yeah, that was probably him. Then we had Miranda's paintings, Victor's memories, the bottle tree visions. All these tiny clues scattered across the show pointing to some larger intelligence behind the nightmare. And finally, at the end of Season 3, he revealed himself. The man in yellow isn't just another monster roaming the forest. He walks around in broad daylight. He talks calmly. He understands the rules of the town. And most importantly, he doesn't follow those rules. The night creatures are predictable. They come out after dark. They whisper. They try to trick people into opening doors. And they're stopped by talismans. But the man in yellow, none of that applies to him. He's operating on a completely different level. And Season 4, Episode 1 just proved exactly how dangerous that makes him.
Fragile thing. We have to stop meeting like that.
The moment that confirmed every fan theory. Now let's talk about the scene everyone is losing their minds over, because this is the moment that changes everything. After killing Jim, the man in yellow walks into the forest, and then something horrifying happens. His body starts changing, bones shifting, skin stretching, his entire face morphing. It's this slow, disturbing transformation, and when it's over, he isn't the man in yellow anymore. He's Sophia. Sophia, the sweet, innocent pastor's daughter who arrives in town after a car crash. The girl carrying a Bible. The girl who looks harmless. The girl nobody would ever suspect. Except now we know the truth. Sophia isn't Sophia. She's the man in yellow wearing a new face. And the real Sophia is gone. We see the man in yellow suffocate the pastor off screen before taking his car and driving straight into town. Meaning the main villain of the entire show just disguised himself as a brand new resident. And nobody inside Fromville has any idea.
These rocks, they protect you?
Oh, we call them talismans.
The talismans might actually be useless. Now this twist leads to one massive implication, and honestly, it's terrifying, because the entire town has been relying on talismans to survive. Those carved stones that keep the monsters outside at night. People built their entire survival strategy around them. Houses, safe rooms, night schedules. Everything depends on those symbols. But what if they never actually worked the way everyone thought? Because think about it, the monsters follow the rules. They stop at the doors. They whisper, they wait, they play the game. But who created those rules? The man in yellow. He can open doors, he can walk into houses, he can ignore the talismans completely. And now he can walk into the town disguised as a human, which means the entire protection system just collapsed. Imagine playing tag as a kid, and everyone agrees that touching a tree means you're safe. That's the rule. But the kid who invented the game suddenly says, actually, the tree doesn't count anymore. That's basically what the man in yellow is doing. The talismans were never true protection. They were just part of his game.
Understand what I saw. I don't know why I saw it.
Breaking down his powers. So after this episode, we can actually list several confirmed abilities the man in yellow has. And honestly, they're terrifying. First, shapeshifting. He doesn't just mimic voices anymore, he literally becomes another person. We watched his entire body transform into Sophia, which means he can infiltrate the town perfectly. No suspicion, no warning signs, just a new face walking through the gates. Second, rule immunity. Regular monsters follow strict rules. Nighttime activity. Talismans blocking entry. Limitations that keep them predictable. But the man in yellow ignores all of that. He walks in daylight, opens doors, and moves around the town freely. Third, loop awareness. He clearly remembers previous cycles of the town. He tells Julie she can't change the story. And the suitcase he digs up full of clothes suggests he's played many roles before, different identities. Different characters across multiple cycles of the town. Fourth, psychological manipulation. This guy loves mind games. The radio voice, the fake phone calls pretending to be Thomas, whispering in the forest, and now quoting scripture while pretending to be Sophia. Everything he does is designed to push people emotionally. And finally, feeding on suffering. Because the man in yellow literally says his favorite moment isn't when monsters kill people. It's when the humans start tearing each other apart, when fear turns into paranoia, when hope collapses, and the survivors destroy themselves.
On talismans.
How do they work?
But don't.
Why he keeps them alive. Now this raises the obvious question. If he's this powerful, why not just kill everyone? Why keep the town going? Well, think about it like a horror show. If everyone dies immediately, the story ends. But if people keep struggling, keep hoping, keep trying to escape, the suffering lasts longer. And the man in yellow clearly enjoys that. He isn't just the villain. He's the director of the nightmare. Fromville might not be a prison at all. It might be a stage, and every resident trapped inside it is just another actor in the story he's writing.
Sorry.
Oh, is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, you are.
Why Sophia changes everything. Now let's talk about why the Sophia disguise is such a genius move. Because this isn't random. The man in yellow didn't choose just any identity. He chose someone the town would instantly trust. A young girl. Religious background, innocent personality, someone nobody would ever suspect, which means he now has access to everything. Colony house conversations, diner meetings, Boyd's plans, Kenny's leadership, Tabitha's theories. He can sit beside the very people trying to escape, listen to their strategies, and sabotage them without anyone realizing what's happening. And the scariest part, he doesn't even need to attack anyone. All he has to do is whisper the right idea, plant the right doubt, start the right argument, and the town will destroy itself for him.
What's happening?
The characters most at risk. Now that the man in yellow is inside the town, several characters are suddenly in serious danger. Victor might recognize Sophia from a previous cycle, since she doesn't seem to age. Julie's story-walking ability could expose the truth about the loops. Boyd is already emotionally unstable after everything he's been through. Tabitha is digging deeper into the secrets of the town. And Jade keeps seeing visions connected to the past. These are the people closest to uncovering what Fromville really is, which means they're also the biggest threats to the man in yellow.
You played a very special role and very important.
The real final boss of From. For years we thought the monsters were the main danger. The smiling creatures outside the windows, the whispers in the woods, the claws scratching at the doors. But now we know something terrifying. Those monsters might just be employees. They follow the rules. They play their roles. They hunt the residents. But the one controlling the entire system, the one writing the story, the one deciding when the rules change, that's the man in yellow. And now he's already inside the town. Our nerdy thoughts. So yeah, Season 4, Episode 1 of From just raised the stakes in a massive way. The man in yellow can shapeshift. He remembers the loops. He ignores the rules, and he's currently walking around Fromville disguised as Sophia, which means the residents aren't just fighting monsters anymore. They're fighting someone who already knows every move they're going to make. Someone who's been watching this story unfold again and again and again. And honestly, we might have just witnessed the moment where the entire game changed. So what do you think? Is the man in yellow the creator of Fromville? Is Sophia about to start a civil war inside the town? And will anyone discover the truth before it's too late? Let me know your theories in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want more breakdowns of From Season 4, as soon as new episodes drop, make sure you like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And remember, if a new person suddenly shows up in Fromville, you might want to check if they're really human.
Sorry you won't be here to see what comes next. It's always my favorite part.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.